And this has been my kitchen. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Oh, wait, that's actually seasonings.
I mean, it's not snow?
No.
It's not Christmas time?
No.
It's not cold outside?
No.
We're not ready to throw on jackets and scarves and hats and walk outside in the
Heck no.
skiing season where we're going down slippery mountains with sleds on our feet?
No. You're in the wrong season.
That's probably why I'm wearing a tank top anyway. Oh, it is summertime. We're approaching summertime. It's not really summertime until the 21st, but it sure feels like summertime now as we get ready to throw on some ribs. Now, I know what you're thinking. You've already done a rib recipe. It didn't work out. The meat didn't fall off the bone like you said it would. But there I didn't know the meats that I was cooking, and apparently Speedy says that these ribs will fall off the bone. Well, we'll put it to the test this time. This time I've taken all the rib racks into two separate cookie sheets, baking sheets right here. One of them's covered. I didn't season this one. This one's unseasoned. This one is seasoned. So I'm going to cover these up tight and cook them in my own way in the oven, covered up tight and cooking for 2 hours. Now what are we going to do within those 2 hours? I'll show you another recipe that we're going to be working on simultaneously while waiting for these to cook. I need to get the rest of my foil because that only covered half of my pan. Now, summertime usually also means birthday season, and lots of people have birthdays at this time. And a little story that happened. I was making a cake for one of my bosses at Burlington. It was his birthday on the 11th, and I decided to bring in a cake on his birthday. Well, I got the cake ready, I got the cake finished, and was ready to go out the door, put it in the pan, put the lid on the pan, got a little handle, I can carry it off to work. And wouldn't you know it, while I was chasing down the bus, the bottom fell out of the pan and the cake fell straight down all over the sidewalk. Cake went splat everywhere, and my boss did not get his birthday cake. So we're going to be making him a surrogate birthday cake, and I'm going to be trying a brand new recipe I've never tried before in a cake, and we're going to be showing you how to do that. But right now, I want to get these ribs in the oven, and we're baking them for 2 hours at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. So without further ado, let's get these ribs into the oven. One on one shelf and one on the bottom. Now those ribs are covered up tight, which means that no steam is escaping from them. They'll cook a lot faster, a lot better, and a lot more thorough at 450 degrees until that meat has no choice but to fall off the bone. I can only hope. So, clean up our mess a little bit, and then we will head downstairs and start on our cake. And what we are going to be planning on this cake, it's going to be a white cake, which means no egg yolks will be going into the batter. We are going to be using purely egg whites. And we are also going to be throwing in, for extra flavor, maraschino cherry. That is going to make the recipe very interesting because we're going to bake the cherry into the batter while it's baking in the oven. And this is going to be a good recipe too, because I want to try to make it a cherry swirl cake. And how to make the swirl is that you lightly mix in some of the juice from the maraschino cherry until it swirls. And then you pour it into the cake pan and it bakes with the swirl in the middle. So I'll show you what I mean when we get downstairs. But right now, those ribs are going to sit pretty in that oven for 2 hours. And then when I pull them out, they're going to go outside, and we're going to be grilling with SonicBlu tonight instead of just cooking. So it's cooking and grilling with SonicBlu. So let's go bake a cake. Okay, so we didn't do our cake yet, but I wanted to come up and check on the ribs before they got too overdone because they're about ready to come out of the oven. So I'm gonna take my pot holder and a rag, because those are the only two things that I have to pull hot things out of the oven with. So let's check on our ribs. They've been in here for nearly 2 hours. And with these ribs, hopefully they'll fall right off the bone, and then we can just plop them right onto the grill and barbecue them.
Because unfortunately, it's they're definitely off the bone.
Yeah, they're off the bone.
My
right?
goodness, look how much they shrunk too.
Well, yes, because they're beef, and beef will tend to shrink when bacon. Unfortunately, some things can't be helped, and you can't help to shrink your beef. Here comes the other one. This is the one that's seasoned. So let's put this one over here. Oven is done. So let's close her up.
Man, look at this steam coming off of that one. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of steam coming off of that one.
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
This is the one we seasoned. And wow. Wow. Folks, look at that. That's with the seasoning on it. So now we can get a comparison on what they look like seasoned and unseasoned. Because that's the seasoned right there. That's unseasoned. So note the difference, and look how tastier these look in comparison to the non-seasoned ones.
Yeah.
So our next step now is to let it cool for a little bit. And what I'd like to kind of do is, with the assistance of a sharp knife, sometimes you'll have to get a little extra assistance to cut the rib meat right off the bone, and it'll just come right off of there. There's the one. Well, that came right off. Look at that. Now watch how you handle this, because this is going to be really hot, folks.
Especially the bones.
Yeah, that's what I'm meaning.
Yeah.
Bones are going to be extremely hot to handle, so if you don't know what you're doing or not knowing what you're expecting to do, let these cool for about 5 to 10 minutes before you're tackling the bones. Now, what we're going to do with that is cut it right in the center there, just to help it along in getting the bone up and out of there. Look at that, it just comes right off. See, that's the way good beef ribs are supposed to come out of the oven, with the bone just falls right out of there. Look at that, the bone is just coming right off of that. Whew, that's hot. That is really hot, folks. I'm not gonna lie. Oof, that is hot. Oof, that is hot. Oof, that is hot.
If you send it, this is one of those cases where
Can't stand the heat, don't do this.
Yeah. And he's slowly but surely trying to get it off. There you go.
There we have one perfectly boneless slab of ribs right there. So let me get a plate, and I'm going to put the finished ribs on it, and so I can take them out to the grill.
So, and you're going to be taking all those bones out?
Yeah.
You're going to have fun with that, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Put that over here.
You're going to have fun with trying to do that.
Oh, boy.
He's going to have some red fingers by the time he's done with this, I'm sure.
Well, as I'm taking the bones off, that one's kind of, it's not really that much meat to work with, so what we're after is the middle part right there.
Yeah.
Come on off of there, come on off of there. There we go. Okay, now right down the center. Now look at that meat just pull right off. So the bone can just easily come right up and out. Okay. Next bone to come out of there. Look at that, just nice and easy. There's the second one. There's an extra bone.
one. There's one
bone. There we go. Here's the second one. Look at that, just comes right off the bone. I love it when the beef ribs just come right off the bone. You don't have to get shredded beef in your teeth, because I know how annoying that is when you eat ribs and you have to eat with the bone. You have to eat as close to the bone as possible, and a lot of the time you'll just get a lot of shredded beef in your teeth. And that is never any fun. Look at that, just came right out of there. Look at that. Sometimes if you pull it straight up, it'll just pull itself right off the bone. That one just came clean. Ooh, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. Yeah.
It seems like the last one is usually like the worst one. It seems like.
Last one. Whew. There we go. We did it. Here's all the ribs, boneless and ready to grill. All right. Let's wash out some fingers. And then we can go to our next step, grabbing barbecue sauce. Where's the barbecue sauce? Here's the barbecue sauce. We're gonna use Sweet Baby Ray's. Nothing better in the world for your barbecue needs than Sweet Baby Ray's. I stand by it. And now I'm gonna find my barbecuer brush. All right, so we got, fix that. So we got our ribs, we got our barbecue sauce. Let's go to the grill. All right, change of plans. Since it's too dark to do any grilling out there, I decided we'll just do the rest in here and braise it like I usually do. So to braise it, we're gonna sauce them up. And I've turned these over to their back sides, and we're gonna sauce the bottoms of them first, flip them over, then sauce the tops, and then put them in a 400-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes braised, and that means uncovered. We're just gonna squirt just enough to cover. Okay, so what we're going to do is just going to tap the brush onto the sauce to kind of get it to spread and leave it saucy, because if you swipe like you're painting a fence, it's going to brush all that sauce right off, and you want to leave a generous amount of sauce on your ribs. So we're just going to tap it like that, and that will help coat your ribs perfectly every time. And so get in between there, and just going to tap it along and spread it out over the whole rib. And then when we flip them, we're going to do the tops of them and hope that we have enough Sweet Baby Ray's to cover. But if not, then I got a little fallback. Behind me is a small bottle of Budweiser barbecue sauce as well.
That's even going to taste even better on both. That would be.
It might, yes. It might give it a very unique barbecue flavor from two different brands and two different types of barbecue sauce. So now we're going to, I usually use a fork for these, but the knife is readily available for me. So we're going to use the knife to flip these over. Now that's the half of one, so we're just going to kind of flip it like that and then flip it like that. Okay, so that's the one that's going to be comprised into a full serving of ribs. Okay, there's that one. And when these ribs are done, they'll taste just as good as if they were cooked on the grill. But since we don't have that luxury right now, we don't have that in our abilities, we're going to do this the best we can and braise them in the oven and continue saucing. We go through a lot of Sweet Baby Ray's in this house.
Yeah, that is very true.
Okay, well,
that's the end of that.
And we're just gonna sauce the rest of those
That
rest of classic.
Yeah, that stuff is actually really good too.
Yes, it is. The problem is when you buy the 3-pack, they give you such tiny, tiny bottles. And look, we still didn't get to the rest of them before running out of that stuff. So now we turn to
a new bottle.
a new bottle, which will give us a little sweet honeyness. This is the honey variety. So we're gonna have a huge mix of different barbecue flavors in this dish, but mainly because we keep running out of sauce. Okay, and a little bit more there because it didn't get, there we go. A little bit more here. Kind of cover what didn't quite reach, and we were just squeezing the life out of Sweet Baby Ray's. And now the oven is preheated. And we'll just give a little honeyness to all of the ribs, and that way it'll just mix together with flavor. And there might be some left in there. Now with our brush, same tactic. We're gonna use the brush to tap, and then we're just gonna use the brush to brush the sides, which is really handy and helpful after you tap the tops and get that sauce spread over, and you'll have nice saucy barbecued ribs using this method. Oh yes, look at it smother itself in that sauce. Oh man, I wish these were ready to eat right now. But they will be. Patience is a virtue in cooking food. You have to be patient. You have to do what the recipe says. You cannot cut corners, especially on time, when it comes to preparing and cooking foods in the kitchen. Remember, before you go and cook something elaborate, you have to have the time to cook something elaborate. And if you don't have the time, don't cook it. Because time is one of the most important ingredients in any recipe. And if you pull them out of the oven too soon or too late, you know what will happen. Your food will not turn out as it should. All right, well, that looks pretty sauced up. So let's get this into the oven and braise it for about 15 to 20 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So top shelf and cook right away. Now, we got a huge mess to clean up here, because I'm a clean as you go type of guy, and just think when we make that cake downstairs, it's going to be a rather interesting combination. Unfortunately, cannot do a taste test on the cake because it will be going with me to work the next day. So tomorrow I get to take it to work, and the employees of Burlington will get the pleasure of taste testing my cake. All right, so let's throw that away, wipe up the mess over here, and make everything nice and clean again. As you know how much of a neat freak I am, and it's mainly because it provides a healthier workspace for your food. Now, we're gonna leave those bones there because I don't know what to do with them. Speedy wanted to give them to the dogs, but I really don't want to do that, be the one to do that myself. So I'll leave that for him to do. And then that is trachat, garbage, le garbage. This, oh, there is some more sauce in that. Okay, I'll save that. That has just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of sauce, not enough to keep. And now we have a somewhat cleaner environment to work with. And I'll just throw that in there when we're ready to pull out the ribs in 20 minutes. So join us when we pull out the ribs in about 15 to 20 minutes, and we'll be ready to serve them up and eat some nice braised barbecued beef ribs. Braised barbecued beef ribs. Was going to be grilled, but it's braised now. So in about 20 minutes, we're going to enjoy some braised barbecued beef ribs. Try saying that 5 times fast. It's time to check on our beef ribs. our braised beef ribs. Ooh. Now that's what I'm talking about, folks. Look at that. Oh, they are perfect. Look at this. Ooh. Now don't start drooling now. But that is probably the best job I've ever done on those braised beef ribs. Look at that. Oh, baby. That's looking good. Okay.
And we got macaroni and cheese to go with it.
Yes, we do. We always have to have something on the side.
Of course.
So, with a couple of plates in hand, move the milk out of the way, grab some plates. Let's serve some of this up. First of all, I'm going to need silverware. We don't have any knives. Okay, well, let me look over here for some knives.
And probably some over there.
Oh, wait, yeah. I was going to say steak knife, but no, these will work. Okay, we got some silverware. Okay, let's get to serving up some of these ribs. I want that middle one. Yeah. All right, there's 1, 2,
and a 3.
I'm going to try to take some of the ones that I know are seasoned, but I think I got them. Okay, so that's 3.
You hope you got them all.
I hope I got the seasoned ones. So
That'd be really bad if you actually chose all of them and they weren't.
that's the part. Yoink.
Yeah, it's like yoink.
I want that one. I spent all this time cooking it. I should deserve something. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Okay, watch out. It's going to be hot. Okay, so that's going to be somebody's, not mine.
Let's see. Let's see how many.
And then I'll just serve up with some mac and cheese on the side. That way you get a little bit of everything. And that's a lot of mac and cheese too, so we'll be eating our fair share of mac and cheese with this stuff.
Yeah.
I think 3 scoops should do it for everybody.
Yeah.
Split whatever is left amongst ourselves.
I think that'll be enough if you want to grab the rest. I don't care.
With pleasure.
Yeah, I know you and macaroni and cheese. So I said, yeah, you can take the rest. I'm good. That's a lot of food for me as it is. So more than likely, whatever I have left, I might actually take to work tomorrow. Maybe and eat it.
If there's any left, but
if there's any left, that's true.
might be so good you might chow down and then realize you're looking down at an empty plate.
It's like, no.
Okay, well, there we have it. There's our ribs. And this, I can do a taste test on, just as soon as I find my fork.
Yeah, it was
it is.
buried in there.
It was.
I feel like literally buried.
All right, first. Oh, that's so tender. So tender you can cut it with a butter knife. Isn't that amazing? There it is. All right, let's test out some of this braised barbecued beef rib. Hot.
Well, yeah, of course it's hot.
Baby. That's the way to cook ribs. Nice, tender, juicy, saucy. Fantastic. Well, got some in my teeth too. But isn't that good? Don't have to worry about any bones. Everything about this recipe just screams flavor, succulence, and savory. All of the great aspects of food are represented in these ribs. So try them yourself and see how good these ribs can be for you in your household. So this is SonicBlu for some cooking / braising with SonicBlu. Well, it was going to be / grilling / baking, but the cake is still unbaked downstairs. We're going to do that next. But for cooking and braising with SonicBlu, This is SonicBlu Darkwold saying, if you're not cooking good, you're not eating good, and you're definitely not eating what we're eating. So try it out for yourself, and then you will. A oven mitt, or a one of these things. What is this? Pot holder. Let me do that again.
Okay.
Well, we haven't done our cake yet, but I wanted to come up and check on our ribs to make sure they're not too overdone. So I'm going to take my oven mitt, because that's oven mitt. That's a placeholder. That's a
Placeholder.
pot holder.
That was an interesting blooper. Call it a pot. It's like
Placeholder is what you
placeholder.
put on the table. A pot holder is what you use to pull out hot food in an oven. Anyway. Ew.
Did you have to?
That wasn't me. That was somebody in the audience. That's disgusting. You shouldn't do
Delios,
that.
what have we told you about cutting the cheese in our videos?
Yeah, without even using a cheese grater at that. Wow.
And as soon as I started recording, that was like an instant. As soon as I instantly
Up
started
jumped the
recording.
devil.
Well, what a
Up
way
jumped
to
something. I don't know what it was.
what a way to start out the video. As soon as I hit record, it was like instant like. I'll have to replay that and you'll see what I mean. It was funny. Okay. Anyway, 3, 2, 1. And now it's gonna take you a second to chew all of what you just put in your mouth there. Now we need a counter on how many times he chews.
Hot. Mmm.
This is what you get for putting a big, huge amount in your mouth.